Michael McCormick, Cincinnati's tax code. Take it away, Michael.
Thanks, Philip. Which way do we go?
Right.
To the right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the Surgeon General's warning for this presentation. The IRS requires us to do a disclosure anytime we talk about anything related to tax services or tax code or anything like that, so that you know that I'm not giving you specific advice on your situation. So the Surgeon General's warning says don't rely on anything I say until we have an actual consultation. The first part of what I want to talk about is something that is apropos to Legal Shield. And I have posted a couple things on my blog and LinkedIn about identity theft and how rampant it is. And you may not know how much of a problem it is with the IRS right now. Fraudulently filed tax returns, people stealing social security numbers, filing returns for people they don't know. Unfortunately, there are tax preparers that are doing the same thing with their clients, either putting bogus information on the returns or filing returns for people that they've received the social security number for, but they don't know. This particular thing here is a report of about, I don't know, it's probably 50 pages long, so it'll take a little while to get through it. Actually, it's just the cover. Nina Olson is the National Taxpayer Advocate. Does anybody know what the Taxpayer Advocate Service is? The Taxpayer Advocate Service is a program that's available to any taxpayers that are having issues with the IRS. If you have a problem that you can't get resolved directly with the IRS or a supervisor, you can take the issue to the Taxpayer Advocate Service, and they will, depending on the circumstances, pick up that issue and help you resolve it with the IRS. They're not an IRS agency. They are a standalone agency not controlled by IRS, but they will work on your behalf. I had to use them earlier this year for a situation. We had it resolved within 2 days. It had taken me 4 months to get to that point. So it is a worthwhile service. Back to this. Nina Olson had a meeting with the Ways and Means Office and of the House of Representatives, and her main position throughout this meeting was the issues with the IRS and identity theft. She essentially read them the Riot Act, that the IRS is not doing enough to protect the American citizens. This kind of lays out some of the problems. The IRS has allowed multitudes of returns to be filed from the same address. So the same refund for thousands of people goes to the same address, refund checks or direct deposits. They don't do any verification of the address to find out how many returns are going there. They don't check bank accounts to see how many direct deposits went into that bank account. None of that stuff is done right now. It's a huge problem. Just this little blurb here is stuff that I found for 2012. I think I added it up about 5,000 returns and $7 million in bogus refunds. The IRS doesn't do verification when you submit the direct deposit. They'll process the return, they'll kick out the return or kick out the refund almost immediately unless something specifically flags that return. It's a real quick process to get a refund. You might not think so on the outside. It might take 6 weeks, but really that's pretty fast for the IRS to move on anything. So like I said, there's 5,000 returns roughly and about $7 million in refunds that went out with no verification.
How do we get our address?
You want everything to go to you? Unfortunately, they already have your address and probably bank account. In August, a bill was put through the House to help curb identity theft. Unfortunately, it dealt more with what happens after the identity theft has happened, after the refund has already been issued, after the person's already been damaged. It included things like more jail time, stiffer penalties for someone that's caught, that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop the damage ahead of time, and that's where things like Legal Shield come in. This is not the kinder and gentler IRS we've come to love. This is a tax preparer. I don't remember if this guy's a CPA or not. What he did was stole IDs and created fraudulent returns, got refunds for people fraudulently. he was caught and was facing prosecution, and he conspired with his limo driver to actually essentially put out a hit on four of his clients that were going to testify against him, using the limo driver as the hit guy. Fortunately, the hitman, limo driver, went to the authorities and they caught the guy. But you usually don't hear about something. I tried to find an article that came out, I think it was the end of last year, early this year, where a former NFL player attacked his CPA. That doesn't happen. You don't hear about that often either, so don't take it out on the messenger. So that's all I had to say about identity theft. It's an issue. The IRS really isn't proactively taking steps to protect us. We've got to protect ourselves and find a way to do that. And I'm sure we'll hear more about that in a little bit.